Alright guys, we're here today with Saturday night's winner, Henderson, or 14Henderson7. We'll call him Hendo. Say hello.
What's up, guys?
Alright, so, as always, we begin with, why did you choose to play your deck, which was Clifford?
Why did I decide to choose Clipboards? Well, I figured people would be expecting me to play Shaddolls tonight, since every time I've won before, I would be playing Shaddolls. I don't have much experience with Burning Abyss, and I really wanted to play a deck that could possibly beat any deck tonight to ensure that I get another title.
Okay. So, Fresh, do you want to start us off on the questions about the list itself?
Sure. How did two trampolines play out over the turn?
Two trampolines. I feel like, well, honestly, this is my first time playing this deck. I've tested it all day since I woke up, and I tried one trampolinks, and actually one worked perfect for me because nobody seemed to want to MST the trampolinks. But I figured I'm going in a tournament, I'll try out two, and once again, nobody MST'd a trampoline, so it worked out good.
Why Night Beam over the traps?
Wiretap. Well, Wiretap's on my side deck. I feel like Night Beam is good. Well, not only is it good, but I like it because all the chainable traps now, they can't really chain a Phoenix Wing to Night Beam unless they waste another card and then chain the Phoenix Wing to the Night Beams. So if they really want to activate that face down that I'm trying to destroy with Night Beam, they're going to waste another resource to chain it to that activation instead. So it's not really, so yeah.
Okay, well, looking over the main deck, I don't think there's anything too out of the way. Me personally, I only like the one odd eyes. But again, that could come down to preference, if you want to call it that. I did notice you're running Torrential, and I would have probably ran Bottomless here. You want to talk about that?
Bottomless over Torrential. Well, Torrential, I don't even know why I chose Torrential over Bottomless, but every time I've used Torrential, I've had a full field, and I've had my scales up, so when they summon a monster, I would Torrential, get rid of all their stuff. They would end their turn, my turn, Pendulum summon it all back, and then go for game for there. So Torrential worked out. Bottomless probably could have helped out too, but with all these decks now constantly spamming, I think Torrential is the better option.
Well, also, how many mirror matches did you face?
None.
That probably, gives you some insight right there as well. So onto the side deck. I know that. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I know you had a thought about the mirror match, I suppose.
Oh yeah. Well, if I was to face a mirror match, I probably would have took out the Torrential since it wouldn't have done much.
Yeah. All right. Well, I know that Fresh has several questions about the side deck, so we'll go ahead and move to that part of the interview now.
How did Tower?
Oh god, so this goes back to round 1. The only time I actually summoned Towers was against Exodia. Towers actually won me game 2 with Exodia because when I summoned Towers and he did his turn, he couldn't get another monster in his hand besides his Exodia, so he scooped. Other than that, Towers never really came into my main deck because I had a pretty decent matchup against every other deck that didn't need Towers.
I'm curious how was the match in the deck. Was that like something that get you in trouble, or something about you?
You actually kind of cut out there. Can you say that again?
Yeah, let me go ahead and ask that since he was breaking up. He was asking about the Goza match, the decision behind it.
Well, Goza match is for more like Burning Abyss, Stuff that exceeds summons a lot and synchros into like multiple attributes. Goes match is simply I put it in because all of my monsters that I normal summon and special summon are Earth types, so it's not going to hinder me as much.
I kind of thought it was for Yang Thing, but that kind of.
Well, them too.
Was there a Yang Zing deck tonight?
I didn't face one if there was.
Okay. Well, since this is Clifford and it's pretty it's on the radar, if we can say. Let's move away from talking about the deck. I think we covered the individual player choices. In my opinion, I think we got there. So let's go ahead and just let you talk to us about the night. You may maybe take us through round 1, 2, so on and so forth, till we get to the finals, and talk about your games, anything that interested you, so on and so forth.
All right. So honestly, it was not to like bring down anybody's morale or anything, but it was a pretty much an easy night for the most part, especially against Burning Abyss. The only game that I actually lost was against Exodia, which was the very first game of the night when he was able to bring out Exodia. He got me really salty, and from there, what won me that game was wiretaps. Actually, what won me that match was wiretaps. Came in clutch so many times. Game 2, let me bring it up. I don't even remember who I faced game 2. Who did I face game 2?
Game 2 faced Bellador.
Bellador. What did he play? Oh, Bellador played some kind of psychic deck.
He was playing zombie deck. Okay.
Somebody was playing a psychic deck against me.
Probably wasn't. I don't know, but I think he was playing zombies.
I don't know. Well, he had like militias and psychics and all of that, so I don't know. It was some sort of like synchro based deck. What shut him down was skill drain and vanities. So I've seen either one or both for the 2 games that I faced him, and they both just really shut him down from there.
Oh, for sure. They
Game
have to
3.
invest a lot of cards that don't replace themselves, and if you catch them with an emptiness, you either force them to sit on a very weak field, or you're just allowed to outpace because like I said, they don't replace themselves outside of if he was running the zombies, maybe Goblin Zombie or Malicious, but again, that's not going to help him.
And I actually misplayed that game. He had a Krebons and a Malicious on the field, and I had a Carrier, and I tributed Carrier for I think it was a shell, and I had game on board, but instead of bouncing back his Krebons, I bounced back his Malicious. So every time I would attack his Krebons, he would just negate. And I mean, I still won the game, but it would have been over faster if I would have just read his effect fully through. Game 3, I faced Burning Abyss, and Game 1 was kind of trouble. I can't remember exactly what happened, but I think he got like double Dante on board, and I was kind of shaken at that point. But Skill Drain came into play those 2 games as well. And then the finals, I mean, to be honest, the finals was kind of a blowout. I really didn't have any trouble with the finals. It was probably the fastest finals.
Yeah, it was definitely a quick 2-0. Man, I don't think there's any harm in saying that.
No, not really. It was just standard scout, search, sack. Next turn, tribute, special summon, pendulum, spam, OTK. So that's pretty much how my night went.
Okay, well, you have any final thoughts? Anything that caught your eye? That's what I would normally ask.
If I see another Exodia deck, I'm probably gonna scream. But other than that, not really.
Ash is running Exodia next week.
I'm glad to see a lot of rogue-based decks coming into play a lot. It's encouraging me to play rogue again, but I know the one time I play Rogue, everybody's going to play Meta, and I'm going to get stomped.
Well, there's definitely nothing wrong with running the best deck or the deck that you feel gives you the best chance at winning, regardless of what it is.
Right.
All right,
Unfair
Tim.
Yu-Gi-Oh. That's what it is.
All right, Tim. Well, if that's all, you have anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Well, guys, that's the interview. Thanks everybody for coming out and having a good time. Thanks to Vadi for coming out and schooling us in the final about Arc 5 and what's going on in that series. But we'll see you again next weekend.